we are actually trying to plan how to teach orthopedics to MBBS students in times of the COVID pandemic, because here we have to make our students safe, make ourselves safe, obey norms of social distancing as far as possible, and yet be able to communicate to them what is needed, the necessary content, and ensure by testing them and then discussing their weakness. So basically we are going to have three basic steps. Conveying the content or communicate the content. And this communication of content will be by videos which are prepared like this. The first step is communicate the content, and we'll use videos which are accessible to them and they can view them many times, and this is by YouTube. And what content will we convey? So we have said that we will follow the site of lesion. The site of lesion is basically regional. It can be from head, face, neck, chest, abdomen and pelvis. Now this forms the torso. Then it can be upper limb, which is pectoral girdle, which is shoulder, which is arm, which is elbow, which is forearm, which is wrist and hand. And it can be lower limb. Lower limb will start with hip, it will involve thigh, it will involve things around the knee, bones around knee, then it will be leg, and then it will be ankle, and it will be foot, especially in the foot, the small bones of the foot, which include the talus and the calcaneum. At these sites, the possible natures of lesion would be congenital, traumatic, inflammatory immune, inflammatory infective. Immune may be rheumatoid arthritis and ankylosing spondylitis, and infective may be TB, osteomyelitis, arthritis, which is septic arthritis, and there may be some special types of infections. But congenital, traumatic, inflammatory, then neoplasms, which will be benign and malignant. Then there will be degenerative, which is osteoarthritis, cervical spondylitis, prolapsed intervertebral disc. Then there will be metabolic, which is osteomalacia, rickets. Then there will be paralytic, which will include spinal cord injury, nerve injuries, including leprosy, and anesthetic foot, as in diabetes, and So congenital, traumatic, inflammatory, neoplastic, degenerative, metabolic, paralytic, and there may be some miscellaneous things which we want to cover. So this is the basic content that we will try to cover, and about these basic lesions we will try to ensure that our students can answer the following 7 questions. What is your diagnosis? Why do you say so? Based on clinical signs, symptoms and demography. Any differential diagnosis? Why not that? How would you investigate? How would you treat? What is the prognosis? Then we will follow the MCI curriculum, MCI competence based curriculum, see what is left out of this and cover those points, especially in terms of the skills that are mentioned in the MCI curriculum, like reduction of dislocations, fractures or dislocations, like strapping, like plasters, like splinting, like polytrauma skills like IV, setting up IV lines, perhaps doing ICDs or endotracheal intubation. So these things, and specifically to orthopedics, how to prescribe rehabilitation. Now one thing I think which I have left is in the infective is poliomyelitis, and we will cover post-polio residual paralysis, which is like a lower motor neuron paralysis, so we will put polio here also. So this is our content which we will cover, and our covering this content will have 3 steps. First step is that the student will see a video like this which I am making. After this video he will give a test which will be a single liner. For example, we will ask what is attached to the coracoid process. So he will have to remember an answer. There will be no prompts like MCQ. So there will be single liners. He will learn to find out what in the class he has not understood well and correct his mistake by these single liners. So this is retrieving what you have learned. And then we will give him MCQ, and this MCQ, the Google Classroom itself will tell us the score in terms of Excel, and this is what is the assessment component of the student. Then we will keep on chatting with the students again through Google Classroom, having their feedbacks and trying to improve also. So this is the type of plan that we have discussed, and we'll put it on YouTube so that you can also view it and suggest us measures by which we can improve our communication and skill development in these difficult times of teach but don't help spread the pandemic. Thank you.